Good day, esteemed friends. It's our pleasure to welcome you to our broadcast. Let's connect the interpretation and begin. Just a second, I'm going to switch on the presentation. In order to pick the language that you need, please find in the bottom in the panel below the globe. If it's not there, push three buttons and pick the language that you would like to listen to. Push it on, please. We're waiting for you to make sure that you hear the necessary information. While we're setting up those things, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nuria Yunusina. I'm the coordinator of EcoPulse project. Today we will be talking about how we should promote the events. But to start with, I would like to tell you about our project. What is the mission of the project? The mission of EcoPulse is to create international society and community united by environmental friendliness as a norm of life. For our community to grow, we host different events, online and offline. We are ready to share our experience today of hosting various events. We already had broadcasts. So please put plus or a heart in the chat to show that you've been to our broadcasts. They were dedicated to different topics, organizing the weekend cleaning event or any other type of activity. So you can find all the recordings online on our website, or you can write to us on Telegram, and we will send you all the materials in the format that is going to be comfortable to you. We've already told you how to organize the events themselves, and today we're going to be talking about how to promote them, how to make so that most amount of people should come to your events. Please put plus in the chat if you have organized different events or actions at any time. So it doesn't matter whether it was something environmental, or maybe you could have helped the organizers in something. The events could be in different formats, the areas could be different. I already see some pluses in the chat. Yes, please put pluses. Don't hesitate. If you've never hosted the event, but you would like to learn to do it, you can put two pluses in the chat. I can already see the pluses. Yes, that's good. That's exactly what we're going to be talking of today. And the topic of promoting the events is going to be useful to everybody, even if you are not doing ecological work. I know that we have a lot of activists here today. Somebody is going to watch it in recording, somebody's going to watch it on YouTube. But whatever you are doing is going to be useful to you because the mechanics of promotions are quite the same in all the areas. The basics are the same. And you will hear about promoting your events from our speakers, Daria Khverdian, leader of EcoPulse, the manager in the fields of sustainable development, organizer of more than 200 educational events in the field of environment, and Anna Lavrova, founder of the Ecology of Life Media Agency and the Sharing Map app. She has been doing this work for more than 8 years, and she even has her Telegram channel. I invite to the stage Anna Lavrova, who will start and tell us how to promote the event on social media. I give floor to her. Good day to everyone. Thank you very much for this introduction. In short, what are we going to be talking about? We will be talking of how to get ready for the promotion of the event, how to establish a plan. We'll speak about media, about promotion on social media, including the paid versions, and how to record the results and see what's working out. Preparation. When I'm working with the events, when I'm promoting something, quite often I ask how many people is needed during the event, and I hear the answer, the more the better. But it's very hard to work with such approach. Of course, we want to have lots of people, and quite often we are not limited at all. If lots of people come, it's going to be a good thing. But it's important to understand what we should look into. The more the better, 10 or 50 people. So this is different as well. That is why you need to have specific KPIs for yourselves. We want to have 50 people. Okay, more, better, less, worse, but we can draw conclusions on what was done improperly so that we didn't attract the needed amount of people. And another important point here, usually we have the registration form to understand how many people are going to be visiting the event. And sometimes the promotion is working, but the form is not working. So the first rule is to start the promotion as soon as you test the registration form and got registered. The earlier, the better from the point of view of knowing the event beforehand, because we can plan the promotion as is. Maybe we will do it in 10 days prior to the event, but then we need to think about the platforms where we'll announce it, how we will attract people. That's very important. How to prepare yourselves and create a plan. Google spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, where we put all the platforms for promotion, where we put the tasks, and where we talk about the announcements, where they're going to be, how often the posts are going to be made, within what time frame, who's going to be doing this, and of course we need to speak about the results. Of course, the links should be also provided. It's not the best case scenario, of course, but sometimes the event is commencing the day after the tomorrow, so this is not the best option as well. But we need to record everything which we're doing, so and to create the proper plan, if it's possible. If you don't have time for the table, you need to have a list on digitally or in hand where it's going to be. And we need to state all the social media links, the links to the organizers who are going to be doing this, the friends, the social media of the project itself, the friendly projects who are going to be supporting us if we're going to have an announcement. And we need to write down what the platforms are where we have the target audience, even if it's the cold contacts that we need to establish relations with. Besides the announcements, besides the information about our events on these platforms, we need to highlight that it was here, it was published there, etc. Because in the process of our work, when we agree on things, it's very easy to forget about things. And when we highlight what was already done, we start understanding on which stage our promotion is. More than half of the plans, but few registrations. And or let's say we did this, we had it on the social media, it gave us good results. So we need to record all the steps which were made and the results of these steps. In the future, it will help us to analyze what tools have been efficient and which ones were not. Please write in the comments whether you're working with media, with online media, with newspapers, with journalists on freelance. It's interesting to know your experience. If you are not working, of course, you can put the minus there. We'll have the understanding that many people are not working yet in this area. What is the advantage of working with media? And I would like to say that both the bloggers and the media and the journalists should always be invited to our events because this is a great opportunity for them to come and try something. If it's going to be cleaning, or if it's going to be planting of something, because they're going to be more responsive in this case. You need to understand that both the journalists and the bloggers need to have good content, and your event is also going to be a beautiful picture for their platforms. What is the advantage of working with media? We prepare one press release only, and we send the emails. The results are usually good because lots of publications are going to be published. But in fact, we've sent only one letter and only one. So not much work has been done. Many media might be prestigious, and being there gives your partners some advantages. And your partners are going to look at it. Oh, this was mentioned by this or that media. Media are often quoting one another, even if you are working with some local information agency. Other online platforms or newspapers are going to publish the information about this. Quite often, media is publishing things on social media as well. Most important, if you have the publications in media, you don't have to pay for them. I don't recommend to pay for having the information outside media. So if it's some bloggers, so we are doing non-commercial stuff right now. So many people are doing ecology, and it should be told off for free. You shouldn't teach the media so that they would receive this money as if it was the advertisement. If it's not something ecological, if it's something commercial, you are selling tickets, it's going to be more difficult. The media and the bloggers might ask for money. So since this is something commercial, it will cost money. And in this case, we need to agree on the conditions that are going to be suitable to everybody.
How to prepare press release? First and foremost, let's go through the structure. There should be a title, bright but not yellow, meaning it shouldn't be provocative. Still, we try not to manipulate with the topics related to either ecology or to non-commercial formats. We make some small abstract, the main out of 2 or 3 sentences, and if possible, to provide a sample with the logo of your organization or an organization with which you arrange this event together. And you should also indicate contacts at the end. It's important that we are discussing what kind of facts, figures, and statistics existed in order for the urgency of the problem to be understood, especially when this is ecology or charity, and we resolve some problem with our event. If it's post-release, after the post, we indicate how much garbage we have managed to collect, how many trees planted, and how many trees we plan to plant. And that is for the title. I will answer your questions. It's a good idea to add quotation of the leader. And also it's very good if we mention statistics for the country and for the world once we resolve some problem. Talking about the title, clickbait is not always required because we send press release to journalists, and it is important for them to understand the essence from the title, what is going to happen. And clickbait, especially some yellow or aggressive title, they can make themselves, and probably we will not like it. And I see one more question from Maribran. If possible, please translate this to the chat, and I will try to answer this. As to a mass media database, we have prepared material and how and to whom we should send it. It's very important to collect uh, media database and use it within the time you are dealing with your event and your projects. Then I will explain how to collect this database, and I will also explain how I normally divide mass media into city ones, and best of all, it is share the announcements of the events which will take place in the city. And people can come to this event if you want to have coverage and to talk about something brighter, then these will be regional mass media and sometimes sharing through small city platforms can provide more result in attracting people. And of course, we talk about our event at environmental NGOs or in those which write about social projects. We indicate the title of mass media, links to the platforms, we indicate a contact person, and we also give story in comments that we suggested to share announcement, and the platform did so. So that we would understand, like I do it in different colors. In green, I indicate those with whom I have good relations. In red, those who ignore us. Then we will have understanding with whom one should work, who should rely on, and who we cannot rely on. How to build a media database. The easiest way is to do this manually. Through search engines, we can just find mass media of some town or some country. It will be easier for a city, or TV channels of some city, or newspapers, like list of newspapers in some city. Normally, this is mass media list, and we collect it to the database according to the example I have mentioned. Also, if you have a website, it's possible to make a division for mass media, to leave some form, Google form, where mass media will share their contacts and they will be waiting for you to send them up-to-date news. I cannot say that a Google form is actively filled, but thus you will be able to assemble journalists who are really interested in your events. How to make press releases when you make an announcement of the event after the event and when you want to talk about results. It's important to mention how much garbage was collected, how many trees were planted, how many people were there. It's great to attach quotations of the participants. You can share videos where they share their impressions from the event. And we should necessarily send pictures. During the messaging of press release, we write the title in the topic of the letter in the text, 2 or 3 sentences, what this press release is about. We should write a phrase that you are ready to give a comment and answer the question. Attach a photo, but there should not be than 3 photos. And as to the time, it's best of all to send it in working days in the morning, or it can be attached to some big holidays. The whole country is having rest, and journalists have to write about something. What should be done after messaging? You can write to journalists if you have enough time and ask whether they received press release. It's important to answer quickly because the journalist can respond to your press release and expect that you will answer within 1 or 2 hours, like you provide some comment within this period of time. So it's important to be connected and through search engines, then try to find whether somebody has published your press release or not. Some journalists can answer, thank you, we have prepared material or we have published announcements, but quite frequently journalists do not respond and they share the material. So please try to search manually which materials were published. The most interesting thing about uh, promotion in social networks. It's interesting because it gives quite a lot of opportunities and you can talk about it in many ways. The most important thing, by the way, people forget about this. You should share the information about the event in all your social networks and also prepare personal explanation why this event is important for you. Add your picture. And at the end, invite people and tell that you will be happy to see these people. Like, let's spend Saturday together and let's clean wastes. Don't forget that stories also work quite well, either in Telegram or in WhatsApp, depending on the messenger uh, that is popular in your country. And it is also good if you write about your own personal pain or motivation. For instance, we are worried that in our city we have a lot of garbage. We decided to go for a walk with a child and we saw that there is a lot of garbage around us or some problem with forests and we can do something about it. Promotion in social networks. Uh, we remember that if we have a project, we can plan a series of posts. Here, it's important to make a plan. That is the main part, the first announcement that we attached in a profile. Ideally, it should be published like 10 or 14 days before the event. We talk in more detail about details. What are the speakers? Which problems we resolve? Why it is important to take part? And one day before, we remind that the event will take place. How can we search for a platform? These are ecological projects of your country and your city. There are most motivated people who are interested in participating. These are activists, chats, very audience which is truly engaged, local chats, chat of your city or your district, and at the platform they can be your target audience, like parents chat. I will share an example later on how this can be successful with this target audience. At which conditions should announcements be placed? We do not pay, but we can offer like gratitude to become a partner or to talk about the project. We can talk about the project which supported you in your social networks. At the beginning of the event, we can express gratitude and enumerate the partners who supported you. And we also can share logos at investment platforms. It can be a website, registration device, or banner at the event. It's important to invite bloggers to your events, not just to ask to share announcement, but ask them to come. If you have partners and they produce something, maybe ecological cosmetics or something like this, give gifts to bloggers. It works really well. And also talk about these bloggers in your social networks. Make reposts of their posts. Write gratitude. Thank you for having supported us when we make repost. It always also works well and helps to create warm relations. Long-term partnership with bloggers. Here is an example of a cleanup day. In Russian, it says that this is a cleanup day, and they invite parents to take part in that. And right at that time, for children, there will be a mini quest. This is kind of a format where they invite everyone, but for parents, the bonus is that children will be engaged in something. This announcement was shared in the community with the parents of this district. Double check all the posts that are published and dedicated to your event. There can be some questions, and it's important to answer those. And one more thing, there can be negative or provocative comments. It's also important to respond to those because other people see it. Paid-based way of promotion is one of the most up-to-date. We can use those. As for the platform, I wouldn't recommend to pay, and that is target advertisement. It can be either social network, your local social network, like VKontakte in Russia, or it can be some other social networks which are popular in your city, in your town. And also target advertisement is has benefit that we can choose target audience. We can prepare geographically for some city or region, choose people by interests, by age, and by gender. Sometimes we can use even more detailed metrics. We can keep track of the clicks transfer and understand the cost of every attracted volunteer. It's very useful for the next time when we plan the budget. And also, this is an opportunity to reach audience which doesn't read ecological publics or regional ones, but thus we can tell about this event and to continue working with them. It's very important to record the results. As I have already mentioned, in the plan that we have, we record all the important indicators, coverage, comments, reactions. We see at which platforms the post is popular and where it is not popular. Ideally, when you make a presentation, there is some poll. How did you get to know about the event? It really helps to plan next time what you should spend your resources on and where you should actually ignore it. Sometimes, in the form of registration, it's not possible to make this blog, and we do not really understand where people came from. And being a volunteer and coordinator, I often participate in the event. I feel comfortable to ask, especially if I was promoting this event. And I ask, how did you get to know about this? And I talk to one, two, three persons. It's interesting that this is kind of advertisement when somebody shared this information, and I could never think that it's truly efficient and it helps for the future, to somehow work with the platforms better. So collect we should collect feedback. After all the information is here, we prepare analytics. It's great if you have an opportunity to meet people who think alike or get together online and to discuss what we have reached and whether we are satisfied with the results, how we can improve it. You should record which bloggers supported, where you found mass media posts, which channels proved to be more efficient, and one should collect links for the posts after the event. Ideally, I try to tell the partners we work with a gratitude to write, like, thank you. With your help, we managed to collect that many rags with garbage or to plant that many trees. And you should also indicate that information support helped to made it possible. We do not invite you to make a press release. However, quite often bloggers say it's so great, and then they publish this material themselves, and they feel that they are part of something important, even if they didn't go to this event directly. So this is the slide where I talk about this. Well, here is a sample. Thank you. Thanks to you, there were so many volunteers at the event. Together, we were able to do this. So this is the last slide. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer your questions. I see that the question about the point that we should support sharing information, especially if this is a non-governmental story. Thank you, Anna. We also got several questions from those who could not have connected to the stream. There is a question on how we can understand the target audience in order to teach the equipment to interact with this and even better to engage it. The question is very good. So once you arrange the event for the first time, first and foremost, study it with the team. Share hypotheses. Try to understand which are target audiences, especially if you want to segment the sites where you are located. And also, as for target audience, neural networks can hint you. I do not know what you use, GPT chat, DeepSeek, and so on and so forth, but don't worry that you use it. This neural network can offer some ideas which would never arrive to you. There is one more question from Lina from Georgia about the most efficient ways of advertisement to your idea. What is the strongest? What should be used first and foremost? Well, I deal a lot with social networks, and according to my experience, social networks work better than mass media due to the point that we can somehow differentiate them local by interests and so forth and so on. Some local chats and chats by interest, I think they work best. So if it's possible for you to collect such a base, I do recommend it you to do this and share announcement there. And once you are a participant of this chat, this is for free and quite fast. And also, quite frequently, we can search for support. I think Daria will speak in more detail about the projects that are around. Once we talk about something local, as they can talk to them about the target audience, that something incredibly great will happen nearby, and you can also take part in that. So for that reason, if we talk about offline story, that is something around you, and as for online, that is something related to something more local. Of course, uh, there can be such fans from other city, but they are not likely to go. We should be oriented by those who live next to you and who are interested in your theme. Thank you. That was Anna Lavrova. To have any other questions, feel free to write these questions to me or to Anya, and we will tell you about answers to these questions. And now I invite Daria Akhverdians to the microphone, our EcoPulse leader, Sustainable Development and ECG project manager, organizers of over 200 events, and she will tell what are the possibilities you can use to attract as many people to your event as possible. Thank you, Nuria. Anna, thank you so much for your speech, for the detailed explanation and promotion in social networks. Still, this is our easiest and simplest tool for now in the modern world. And I will respond like this: get back to the tools, sometimes even simpler than social networks, and remember and talk about those, how we can attract participants to our event, with the exception of posts. Beside posts in social networks, it's important that they should be there. We do not cancel those. In your cleanup day, in your mini festival, swapping of books or clothes, about a charity collection of things, about the separate collection of wastes. Now I am sharing examples of ecological events which most frequently are arranged upon the initiatives of people who care on the planet Earth. And as to all these events, definitely every organizer should write at least at his or her page
So it has to be described on the pages. If there are no specialized pages for those events on social media, and yeah, especially if there is no name for this campaign. So there should be such page, it should appear. And before I start talking about the tools which attract the participants besides social media, I would like to speak about something important. People. Even if it's something astonishing, perfectly prepared, and beautiful event, people won't come themselves. You need to invite them. Why aren't they coming? Because they won't know about those events. Inviting people means giving them the opportunity to learn that you are preparing such an event. What's important is one channel, one means of informing, and inviting is a chance to get known, to get interesting. 10 channels is 10 chances. Anna told us about social media. She told us about working with media. I'm going to speak about that as well, but I'm not going to speak about it in details. She also touched upon the thematical communities, such as chats. If you've been to EcoPulse, you are used to such a format, our chat, where we announce our events. Many of you have come here thanks to the announcement in such a thematical chat. But coming back to our topic, I would like to say that in the attraction tools, all the tools are really simple. Everything is done step by step. You just do it, you don't doubt it, and people will come to you. We will start at the simplest things and we'll get to the most complicated things. And there's an example of the events that we invite our participants for. We should have three cases here. First, let it be some ecological events between the neighbors, mini festival, neighbors and ecology. Second, some kind of weekend cleaning campaign in a city park in the forest or on the city, or on the river bank or whatever, somewhere in nature. Number three is something larger, a festival, ecological festival. But all of these events should be non-commercial. Participation in all of them does not require to pay anything. We just invite people to participate in something good. I'll be drawing examples out of these three cases. And let me switch on full screen. Sorry for not doing it right away. And we will move on. Well, what do we start with when we create a small first event or a large event, whatever that is? We should always remember that our potential participants are the close ones, our family, our friends, our acquaintances, and of course our colleagues. People that you know, people that know you have common interests with them. Most likely there are lots of common interests with these people. That is why a chance of them coming to your event, basically saying yes to your invitation, is high. Probably it's interesting to them as well. But the main reason is that they know you and they love you. To invite the first participants for your event. Let's say it's going to be a friendly neighborhood celebration or a weekend cleaning. So just open your phone book, take 20, 30, 40, 50, even 100 of people who live beside this event, somewhere near. Why are we talking of this criterion? It's going to be more comfortable to them. Of course, it's not necessary to have this criteria. You can pick any amount of people from your phone book and just send the invitation to them. Here in the slide, you can see the correspondence on the phone. So the main message here that you need to send to your friend, a colleague, or an acquaintance that you are organizing an event on a specific date at specific time. Here we're talking about cleaning on the lake bank on Saturday, 11 a.m. It will take only 5 hours. Your help is needed. You will be very useful. Will you be able to come? And they would answer, no, I have other plans, or they agree. And in this case, you already have the first participant. This person who agrees, who can support you, has to receive all the details. When, where, and a link to this event, to the chat of this event, or the publication on social media about this event. The chat is better. Why is it better? I'll talk about this later. Write each person a personal message. Don't create chats without the participants agreeing to this. This causes negative reaction. Don't forget that inviting your acquaintance, your friend, even if you are doing it every week, is not being obnoxious. It's just inviting a person. These same people, your surrounding, will help you to launch this process of word of mouth. Some will find it easy to forward the information about your event to their acquaintances, somebody you don't know, but they do. To have this information about some great event. Let's say cleaning campaign on a favorite lake, or masterclass with DJs, with some local crafts market, whatever that is going to be occurring somewhere near. It's great to share this information, especially if it's something interesting and free. Prepare a short message that your friend or colleague, acquaintance can send to their surrounding. They can have some other message of their own, but if they have this template, it's going to be easier for them to invite some people. The second means is working only when the event has already been organized. Those who participated in the event should make a publication to tell about the event on social media, in stories. But once again, Anna has mentioned this. I'm not going to reiterate it. What's important is that the pleased participants who sincerely tell about how useful it was, how interesting it was, so that they give you 3, 5, or 10 participants in the future. Main thing, don't trust that your friends are going to invite somebody. Just ask them to do this. They might do this, might not do this. Nothing bad is going to happen if they do or if they don't, if they say no. Of course, we need to expand our field of effect and influence. A great means that is working now is thematical chats. Neighbors who live in large apartment building or in a cottage village, people get together in chats to solve some problems, which involves their property, yards, lighting, etc. So sometimes they exchange things there, they ask for some help, etc. So if you give the information in those chats that you are preparing a good, interesting, and useful event, I'm confident that you are going to find like-minded people who are going to help you to organize this and participants who are going to come to this event. The neighbors' chats in this respect are a great place to have your information about such events. If you want to gather the people from your house, how to sort the waste, where the containers are for such wastes are. So you need to announce such a lecture about such a masterclass through such a chat. There are chats, as Anya mentioned, which unite people not based on the territory, but based on the interests. The parental chats for the school kids and for kids who are younger. Your audience is there as well. The parents are there. So the parents are participating in the eco-friendly events because they think about the future of their children. Inviting to weekend cleaning campaigns, exchange of things, etc. So especially if it's something thematical and you exchange, let's say, kids things, that should be done through such chats as well. Please put plus in the chat if you have such a chat of neighbors, the chat which unites the people who live in one apartment building. Who is a part of a parents chat? Okay, I can see some pluses there. Nuria is not a part of any chat, I can see that. Well, I would put plus as well. I have lots of those chats. And each so Nuria is only in VK chat, so thematical chats are also a place where you can send your announcement about those events. I would like to speak about good old method which has been working for, I don't know, it has been working even before the print has been designed. You can make an announcement, a short one, to inform that some event is going to take place. Don't hesitate to make printed announcements. There should be the name of the event, a place, a date, and a program, QR codes to get registered to this registry form if this is a large event, or QR codes which leads to the participants' chat. Anna has mentioned this, so I'm not going to speak on of this for too long, but it's important that you have such announcements. They can be black or white, they can be colored. It all depends on your designer capabilities, on your capability to print something in whatever form possible. But if we're talking of the neighbors' events, such an announcement should be on every door of the apartment building, to every hall. So if it's somewhere on the river, on the lake bank, or whatever, not far from the accommodation centers, we need to put those announcements on the info desks, info boards of these houses, or somewhere near the garbage cans, because there are such places. So, how to send those announcements? I'll tell that as well. But it's important that these chats and these announcements on the info boards can take, can lead the participants which are not subscribed to you on social media. Maybe they don't use social media at all, but they like good deeds and they participate in them. So level two, expanding it even further. So how to expand the amount of people who will support us informationally and would lead participants for our events. It's good when you have this example of our weekend cleaning party somewhere on the lake shore, whatever, or eco festival. Besides such events, you can have local partners. They are not your partners yet, but there should be some businesses which are working there already. People come to them, they have the shopping window. These could be stores, these could be cafes, some leisure center for children, a school of foreign languages, whatever. You can actually write in the chat what it could be, what local establishments these could be. You can come there a few weeks before the event and announce that you are organizing this wonderful event on weekend, or it could be a festival. People would do a good thing, a good deed, or they would learn something useful. Usually during the festivals, there are some educational programs. So just ask whether they can support you and put this announcement on the door or on any other place which is allowed. Often, stores and cafes and kids centers and schools, language schools, take such announcements and they put them on their doors and information boards. Moreover, they can actually offer some support and help. I'll speak of that later. Anyhow, they can give some certificates with discounts or some presents, and usually they do it with great pleasure. What can be offered? And it has to be done actually. When we are working with the partners, at the end of the event, we need to say thank you to them in your post at the end of the event. You should have a list, you should have a paragraph dedicated to people and organizations that supported you with a link to their social media. Among your partners could be businesses, as well as some thematical, topical enterprises with their own audiences. It's good to work with libraries and the cultural establishments or the centers for children's art, where people come to have quality time. They will be glad to see this announcement there that they could do something useful in a good company. This announcement is given to a library, and even the employees of the library could actually join you at the end of the day. It's important to look for support from the local environmental projects. Maybe you have an eco center in your city, a place where people come together if they love eco-friendly things and they don't like non-eco-friendly things. If they have their own rooms, great, come there, bring your announcements there. If there are no rooms of theirs, maybe they have a chat, maybe they can have send some messages to their adepts. So, and sports sections can support you as well. One of the examples, we had a campaign in the south of Russia, separated garbage disposal. Eco car was moving across the city, stopping at specific places, gathering plastic, glass, paper for recycling. One of the stops was at the stadium, and we contacted the administration of the stadium. Besides the stadium, there were various, so based in the stadium, there was different sports sections, runners, football players, and the information about such a campaign was delivered to them. So thanks to such a banner and announcement that we gave them, and the message with the text that they could send in the chats.
In this sense, you give additional content to the participants of these communities. The next level, oh, well, by the way, you can start with that next level if you do something at public territory. If we're talking about a cleanup day, about cleaning the wastes, local administration should be definitely informed. You should send a letter to them. If you want to arrange some festival or some action on separate collection of waste, some educational event somewhere at city territory, then definitely you have to inform the leadership of the city that you are planning this because you want to collect a group of people. When people get together, it should be known in advance. Find at the website of your city or your settlement the contacts on event department in your administration. If this department is not there, just write to the mayor or to the leadership in you know the position of the leader in your city or town. Write a detailed and official letter that you are an initiative group or you are an organization and you arrange this kind of event in this day at some place at this time, and we kindly ask you to reconcile this event and provide support. First and foremost, you ask from administration the information support to publish this information on their website, in their social networks. Quite frequently, administration can help with the first engagement of mass media. If you do not have contacts, they already have it well reconciled and well working. And the second part, administration of your the place can help you providing administrative resource, some inventory, some equipment. They will bring it and take out. They can help you with logistics as well, with delivery to the place, and they can also help you with removal of wastes once you arrange a cleanup day. They do need good news in order to show results of their work. What you do is a good news, and later on they will definitely report about what they have arranged for the citizens. Like they arranged this wonderful cleanup day, not like they are organizers, but they participated in organization of this event. Another thing is, well, our mass media, Anna has already talked about this in detail, that there should be text of press release, detailed announcement of the event, and you know, quite frequently, it's not always that mass media publish announcements. They like beautiful reports with beautiful pictures that are already there. They publish it, especially if there is lack of content, especially if there is a local mass media, they will write about you. Do not feel shy to mention the email of the editorial. Maybe they will invite you to TV to talk about your festivals, about your reaction, about whatever you arrange. Well, maybe you will talk with your favorite host. Why? For the reason that they also lack good and kind content, especially in the morning shows, in morning programs. So this is not advertisement for you because you have a non-commercial project. You do not sell anything. However, you give a good and kind information reason. I would like to ask you, dear friends, if you ever engaged somebody to the event, what was the most unexpected way that really worked for you? And also, if you haven't invited anyone, what was the most unexpected way that you got to know about this and you were invited to some event? So there is some response, but we need to have translation. Well, I will be happy. I will be happy to have your life hacks if they're there. So let's continue. I can not switch the slides. Green demonstration was suspended somehow. I'm sorry, dear colleagues, I'm at a loss. I will try to restart it. Good. Does it work? And I would like to talk about the following way, which also works when we invite participants to help in something. For cleaning or planting trees, for collection of waste and something where you need people not only to come and somehow listen to you and got to know something. A great resource is volunteering centers. They can be at universities, they can be at production plants, they can be anywhere. They can be independent centers, city centers or something, and inform. Well, dear friends, what do you send like 5, 10, or 15 volunteers? So the organizers, the volunteers will tell you what is required for you to get this assistance. They will tell you and they will help you most likely. Do not neglect this opportunity. In Russia, we have special services, kind of big platform, Abroad.ru, where you can engage volunteers online, sharing your notices. I believe that in other countries there are also similar online options when you can address to a big number of volunteers sharing the announcement at the websites where they get this messaging about volunteers vacancies from. So we have used all possible online and offline ways in order to invite participants, to bring them together in the chat, instructed them in detail where and what time we get together, what should be taken, what shouldn't be taken, what should we wear, if required to use anti-insect spray. We also inform people about this in advance in the chat, and people are here. And the event was wonderful. And we made wonderful pictures. We got wonderful results. And then our guests and assistants left, and we do not know where they are. For sure, if possible, we should collect contacts from all participants of our events, one by one, to record everyone. How can that be done? The easiest and number one, if you have some small event, some cleanup, or some event related to, I don't know, your yard or your district, you just need to print out a registration list, to prepare a registration list where a person would write a name, contact telephone, email, and that is actually enough. Or now they write not an email, but a telephone number and account in some social network or in Messenger. Just a pen and paper. There is a way, a more technological way, but less convenient one. That as an electronic form with QR code. You make a code in Google or in Yandex or in some other service you use, and a link to this poll. You print out as a QR code and you provide it at the entry zone, at the zone of your company. What kind of details can be here? Well, sometimes a cell phone of a person can fail to read out QR code. Then organizer would read out the QR code, would scan QR code, and record information about the participants. This is the most inconvenient part when telephone cannot scan QR code and you have to enter the person manually. Somebody says, I do not know, I do not want, what for? Why should I share my contacts? You do not have to invent anything. You should tell the truth. Why you need contacts? Number one, why you need contacts for, you have to report about your sponsor or foundation who gave money to the event, your partners, and that can be your truth. You can also share inventory for cleanups, like shovels or some treats. You can give it to those who are registered. And the nicest reason to share your contacts is lottery, which is arranged among registered participants. You can have 2 or 3 nice prizes, which your partners will give you. Those very cafes, shops, schools, volunteering centers, or administration who you informed in advance, whom you told that you will have a wonderful event. Quite frequently, they are happy to share gifts. So these gifts at the end of the event, when everything is almost and over, and you make a lottery among the registered participants. Well, just one by one, you attach a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 187, and with this application, which generate random figures, you identify the winners who get these prizes and who are happy to register. It was double checked not once, and for the event of 15 people and 50 people, and for the event for 300 people. That really works. The only problem is that when the event is for 300 people at the registration area, there should be not one, but several, not one person, but several people. Why are these contacts required? This is your warm audience for the next event. These people have already been with you. They know you. They already helped you. They are already together with you, having done something. So this base should be increased from event to event. Moreover, with this database, you can see who comes to you again and again, and this person can become a member of your team and help with the arrangement of future event. And what I wanted to mention when I talked about local businesses, when I talked about administration or thematic clubs, each partner who helped you in this or that way should naturally get gratitude. This kind of gratitude, which is sent personally to this person, so obligatory to every right to everyone who helped you, send them a message through email or through Messenger that the event took place, that the results are like this, and here are the links to wonderful pictures, and the final post. In this post, there should be mentioning of this partner who helped you. And most likely, when for the first time you were not offered to get some financial assistance or they didn't come with their activity, then School of English Language at your cleanup can offer some nice activity for kids because they saw that it was great. Or a library at your festival can also offer activity on their behalf as long as they also need to make reports about the event and they know that you work well. And volunteering center will share gifts and gratitude letters to your participants and volunteers. Thus, information partners, those who just told about you first, turn into organization partners. They see that you do something and they are ready to help you. In conclusion, dear friends, I would like to say that all the ways I have enumerated really work. It works to invite friends, to write to the chats, thematic chats, home chats, to add announcements in shops or at some shops where they sell just fruits and vegetables. As entrepreneurs who are doing this business, they even more eager support these initiatives. Nuria and I had a wonderful case when we arranged a cleanup in Balashikha town, and the host of a small shop who sold fruit and vegetables. So we came to buy apples for volunteers. And he actually gave those apples to us as a gift. We took like 50 apples. He said, please give this to volunteers for what you do. Such a great thing. You clean up our forest. And I just want to give this to people as gift. The same can be in relation to Pizza Hut, where we bought pizza for our participants. We got a discount. And thus we saved budget of the event due to the point that these partners supported us. So administration will support you in organization and in information. For we should be supported by mass media. Do not forget about mass media. We should write, paint, and share announcement everywhere possible. Invite colleagues from volunteering center. What is important here? Once you arrange the event for the first time, probably it's will be quite hard to cover all the channels, and there is no need to do so. For the first time, choose the three which are most clear for you and invite through those. I would start with simple ones, friends, chats, some announcement from the event area. Then, when you have experience, when you have first photo reports, which you can show to information and organizational partners, you can add new ones. And I would like you to know, actually, people are waiting for you to invite them to do something good together. So do not feel shy, invite them, and definitely they will come to you. Thank you for your attention. I'm ready to answer your questions if you have any. There were some comments that people came to the event from a big blogger. They got to know about the event from the event, and there was a comment that pizza is very important to engage people. By the way, right you are. Pizza is truly important for the participants. When you announce an event, it's important for them to understand whatever is going to be there. And it is really nice for them to see that there will be some treats. These treats can be provided by the partners, or it can be made by your granny.
There was this neighborhood eco event. We spoke of eco habits, the distributed garbage disposal, presumably people who live in one house. So everything was prepared by the neighbors themselves. Some brought pancakes, some brought cakes, pies, etc. So it was very comfortable. When it was discussed in this large chat, people who didn't come regretted. They didn't eat the pie, of course. And also they regretted that they did not receive such useful knowledge about ecology. And what attracts you? What motivates you to come to such an event? What format? Maybe some promises or what? Well, I'm a person who knows those events rather good, so usually I'm being attracted by novelty. Usually I come to the events that I have not participated in. That's the first factor, for me personally, of course. The second factor, which establishes whether I want to go to this event or not, is the usefulness that it's going to give. If I want to be a part of this usefulness, I'll find time and I'll come. This is the motivation. There is another thing here. So right now we are overloaded with information. That is why if I don't understand what the event is about when I read about it, so if I don't understand it, having read one paragraph, I'm not going to come. That is why this demonstration of care to the future participants is a key thing. Thank you, Daria. We invite you to subscribe to our social media, to join our chat. You can see QR code on the screen. We also sent all the possible links on Zoom. Come to us, Stay with us, participate in offline and online events, and of course, invite us to your events. We'll be glad to support you and help you however we can. So we are concluding our event. Esteemed organizers, please switch on some light music for everybody to feel comfortable and to leave our event. Subscribe to our social media. We'll be looking forward to seeing you there.